welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Today I have a doozy, which is why I think it's taken me some time to be able to channel this for you all and share it with you all. I actually channeled this over a week ago, but I was waiting for the energies to be right. I've been going through a lot of shifts and changes in my own personal spaces, so I was waiting for the right vibration, but also there was something else going on that I wasn't in full awareness of until a couple of days ago. So I realized that we've been waiting specifically for this day for me to be able to bring this information forward, and I will explain a little bit more about this, I think, in the most recent energetic update video, which I'll tag in the description below for those that might not catch this in real time, because something really special is happening today, and I think that it's important for us all to be with ourselves as much as possible, even if this is just for 5 minutes today. I think there is a lot that can come through for those souls that have been wanting to check back in with self, to understand exactly why you are here and what is going on for you in your present given time, specifically if you are finding this video for the first time, specifically if you have been here for the longest time with the Light Renegades page. And you know, there was a lot that I want to share actually this week, everyone, but I'm going to do that in another video, so please do look out for the energetic update video in the description below, because I have a lot to share about what's been going on and what's kind of at play and at stake, and specifically now. But today I'm going to be reading a pre-channeled message from Michael Jackson, a fractal of that energy, and I think that MJ Love is bringing forward something that we all know as truth, but I think that it's just so hard to hold on to because it is just so painful. And I realize that in the Light Renegade space, I've been battling myself, but also trying to anchor in these real deep and harsh truths, because there is a play for timelines, everyone. And this is what we've been doing specifically over here on the Light Renegade space. And I've shared this time and time again, and it's almost like I forget, and then I come back to it and it hits me just as heavy, just as strong. And I didn't understand exactly why we were doing everything that we were doing over here, but I think now looking back, it all makes the most amount of sense to me, and we are anchoring in the truth of something so big, so that there is no wavering in other spaces for them to then manipulate this truth in a different capacity. And I hope that this is making sense, and I feel like this will make a little bit more sense after I've shared this channeling with you all. But please buckle in, everyone, if you are not ready to receive this today. You know, please take care of yourself and don't. But I would suggest and say that today is a very specific day to receive this channeling. So, you know, listen to yourself. But I want to say you will know the difference between, you know, fear or the capacity to be able to hold this information. And I want to say that, you know, if you've been here for the longest time, you have the capacity to hold this information. So do what you must, but I would urge you to receive today, is what I want to share. But the title from more than a few days ago, a week ago, from NJ was titled The Rites, and they started with, "Thank you all for your patience. It's been a long road and a slog to get to this point, my dear souls. I myself and the soul sat before you, both of us fractured in some realm, space and time, which has meant that it was difficult for us to bring ourselves back together, to see eye to eye. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share and tell the hard truths. This one will hurt, and I wish there was more that I could do. Every day, each day, a child is born, but also at the exact same time, children are murdered and killed in cold blood, in tragedy and understandings that some cannot begin to fathom in this present given time. I've been given the hard task of sharing exactly what is happening right now. There are still rituals in place, the old gods are still being fed, and this is all with divine purpose. There has been a structure in place for some time. They wish to continue that narrative. And when they say they mean the negative reptilian order. And if you have no idea what I'm speaking on, I would suggest pausing here and doing a little bit more research before continuing with this channeling. Children are used as a pawn in their games. Children are used as a pawn in these games for them. It's not just to feed, it's to create energy that they can then turn into realities to suit them. We are in the realms of the deepest disclosure now. Some of you know these expressions already because you work within them behind the scenes. You help and you rescue each night in your dreams. Children are quite frankly the future. How many times have you heard this in popular culture? But what if I told you they are now capturing children to have them create these fragmented realities you have all been trying so hard to tear down? We have won so many battles, yet this one still wages on. And was the main reason I was a part of their play. I would recruit children behind the scenes, them not knowing exactly what they had signed up for. They just wanted to be close and with me. It is heartbreaking to understand and to see just how awful this entire play is. Children from broken homes, no homes at all, given a chance to be saved. Rich people show up in parts of towns all over the world and they say, we can help, we are here to help, let us help. Let us take these children for a better life. Do you understand? How many times have you seen celebrities be there for help of service? We are coming full circle to this dear soul's Diana, a true friend of mine on the other side. Children see the future much clearer than souls lost in the system. They can be manipulated, and what greater cause of manipulation than trauma and fragmentation? I will leave you all to fill in the blanks, but by now you all know you all know just how harrowing these tales are. Children have the capacity to create anything not hindered by suffering, but others have suffered just enough to create the fragment, but some have suffered enough to create the fragment with some such as fear of life, creatures from other planes, and what that means, it is just too much for a young mind somewhere. And it was interesting because when I was channeling this for you all, I was guided back to a space of my childhood, and when I was in I wouldn't say play school, when I was in younger school, primary school, I think kindergarten for you guys in the US. And I remember specifically the day that I got told that space exists and the vastness of space, and I had a complete meltdown. I had to be taken out of class. I think they even rang my mom to console me because I just couldn't handle it. And looking back on that now, now I see this as it was an awakening for me somewhere in this present given time. But there were some things that children just shouldn't be witnessing because their mind specifically can't hold that information. And it's interesting because I was thinking back to, movies and why they are time-stamped, not time-stamped, but stamped within the certification of the ages, and I thought those things are in place for a reason. It is important because if you receive something too soon, it can fragment the mind, and how challenging that can be for a child. So I was sat, in the rawest form of me experiencing that, as an awakening, but also looking through it through the eyes of, these poor children being fragmented in a space because they just don't have the capacity to be able to hold such high vibrational energy. And this idea of using, the fear of life and also showing them, who they are in plain sight. And it's difficult to receive things from other realms. It's still something that I know these beings, but it's still foreign somewhere still. When new being steps forward, or it's a different thing that I'm used to in terms of energy. And I think I felt this fragmentation too between the different differentiations of spaces and the fragments that I've been having to kind of all hold together and down at the same time. And MJ goes into a little bit more of this, so I'm going to continue, but I just wanted to offer up that experience and the offering for just to understand the true capacity of what we are dealing with here and how it is done. It's time to just know. It's time to just know and hold this truth, everyone, because then we get to move forward, is what I want to say. I was tasked with manipulation and transmutation. They came to me, I groomed them, let them play, have fun, and they were shipped off mostly to off-planet places that I didn't know. I wasn't in full awareness. To me, the children came and went. We all just had fun. That's all that I remember. Until times I would break too far out of the mold and they would show me, tell me, and then I would run back to not wanting to know. This is how they keep us compliant, because some of us do remember souls too strong, which is something that I've had a question about for some time. It's difficult to make it make sense in your realm, but I hope this has given some insight. It's true too that children of specific races do have a higher frequency of capacity of understandings, graspings of psychic abilities. This going back to the ancient bloodline wars and the wars in which we are still facing right now. Mutilation and mutations of DNA rife in these places also. So many seeds born out of splices of many races and beings of all realms, space and time. Darkness, galactic, angelic, or different vibrations, AI also part of this mix. Organic matter from other realms, as alive as each soul here. We are getting expansive, dear souls, but I hope that you can all keep up. This is why some parts of this world remain in poverty. Do you see now? Why all of this could not have made full sense until now. Why suffering still exists. Yes, souls come here for an experience on Earth, but do you believe that this is a free planet? Look around, it's easy to see if you choose to. I hope this opens eyes, and I'm sorry that I'm not who you thought I was. I am, but at the same time, I am not, and I hope that you can forgive me. And I wanted to go back to this idea of specific races being more susceptible to psychic abilities and understandings, and this is something that has been brought to our attention time and time again when it comes to the elites and then wanting to keep their bloodline pure for a reason, and it's for these reasons specifically, everyone. And I think for some time I've been battling myself with holding down this truth because it's just so expensive. And MJ mentions, beings of darkness, galactic and angelic, and AI vibrations, and then we hold the shadow and the light aspect of all of those realms, space and time, and each of those specific expressions, at least to me, hold a very different vibration. So it's been difficult trying to manage all of these spaces and bring it down to a consolidated space in the here and now for you all on the Light Renegade space, which is why I've kind of channeled a bit here for a bit, went over here, did a little bit, came over here and did a little bit, because it's a very different vibration. And I feel like I've been having to hold everything all at once for a real long time and anchor it completely in for us to hold something in that I just wasn't in full awareness of. So I want to say, if you've been here for the longest time and you've been supporting and you've been showing up and you've been doing the work and holding that shadow and working through your shadow and this collective shadow, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's only now I'm able to see the full play and the full scope at hand. And I want to say that we've closed down so many timelines, everyone, that it's almost like the light and the dark feels very different to me. And I'm almost seeing this play out across all realms, space and time. So I want to say, we have to kind of let go of that which we thought we once knew, and specifically in these spaces of disclosure, because now we're stepping into a different knowing. It's still the same, but it's going to be received in a very different way. And we now have more of an anchorage into the light to be able to anchor in more of this and let go of some of this. And I think this is why I've taken a shift personally in my spaces behind the scenes, and why there is going to be a tipping access into other ventures outside of the Light Renegade space. For me, some of these have already tipped into, because it's like I'm holding a different vibration. This still exists, I'm still a part of it, specifically in dream time, specifically in other realms that isn't in my present given reality at all times. Those realities shift at certain points, and it's like sometimes my dream times are real significant, sometimes I don't remember them at all, but I'm still working within those realms. But I chose to do everything the way that I did. It was with my soul divine plan to do it this way. So some of you, you've been here, but you've been actually really active in dream times, and not a lot of your present given time has been, within this disclosure space, and that's been with divine purpose. So trust where you are, but also trust that now you get to have the decision to decide how you want this next part of your life to look. And I think that many souls have just not wanted to take this as truth, because it's difficult to think, we can change now, but everything has shifted, everyone. And I hope that you can feel it. It's like the light feels ever lighter, and this darkness is here, the shadow aspect of existence is here, but it's in a very different way of experiencing. And this idea of organic matter coming through from other realms, this is definitely something that has been brought to my attention, because it's like everything has completely shifted. And I don't know if you can hear the alarm that has just gone off behind me, but that is very, very significant to something that I'm going to be sharing in the most recent energetic update video. So I'm going to pause here on this. I'm going to say that, MJ has a lot of information. We're really trying to work together to bring it forward, because it was like we were both in opposite ends of a spectrum at some point, and I was trying to deal and heal some real deep aspects of things that they were connected to, so we just wasn't seeing eye to eye. So I had to wait a little while to be able to bring this forward to you all, so that I could hold this information and bring it forward in the right vibration for you to be able to receive. So I want to say, please go easy, please go well in your spaces, because there is a lot happening right now for so many souls, and breaking free of this paradigm of, I want to say, just a real dense energy that we've been in for some time, and it takes a little while to be able to acclimatize. I've been finding it quite difficult behind the scenes to acclimatize to these new vibrations, because it's like something that I've never experienced before at this deepest capacity, and I've been coming from quite difficult and dark and shadowy aspects and timelines for some time, and shutting down all of those doors and those aspects. So this new vibration feels very different, and my body's having to acclimatize. But I'm going to share more about this in the energetic update video. MJ wishes to send their deepest apologies for everything that they have done, and I've given them grace in that space, and I hope that you all can too, because these souls aren't in full awareness. And actually, I want to go back, because this was important. Apologies, I forgot, everyone. But this idea of souls waking up and then being shown what they have done, and then that being something that keeps them compliant to where they find themselves. And I couldn't help notice the differentiation, the synergy and the understanding of that, of a very recent trial that's just happened, and this idea of, you know, people being shown what they've done in certain spaces and time, and that keeping them compliant to the system. And I thought, this is all one and the same. I know that we know this, but I didn't know I was going to speak on it, but because I don't think I specifically can, but I want to offer that understanding to those that can read between the lines of what I'm saying right now. This idea of that souls are shifted into a space where they don't know exactly what they are doing. They, you know, go on living their lives, and then they are shown, you know, a specific point when they want to step out of the system, or they want to step out of something that, you know, isn't part of the play that they want them to be doing. They show them what they have done, and they are in shock. And then they will do anything to make sure that no one sees what they have done. But they were guided in a space to not know fully what they were saying yes to, what they were being given to. And yeah, the word sticking out there, they were groomed. And this is always the play. You are groomed to do something that you don't remember that you've said yes to somewhere at the deepest depths of what we're sharing in this type of disclosure. It happens on, you know, a psychically level that, you know, some souls can't keep a hold of and aren't in full awareness of. And souls, you know, at this high esteem are really powerful souls, and that's been by design. You know, I want to say that no one is a celebrity. Yeah, the bird flying is confirmation there, a crow. No one is a celebrity in this realm without real good cause for them to be a celebrity, is what I want to share, everyone. And this has been something that's been brought to my attention time and time again, which is why you have to be very aware and very careful of what you are consuming, because there is some false truths out there, and even in the spiritual spaces. So be aware of that, everyone. You know, please go easy, please go well, but I promise you, energy never effing lies. So trust how you feel about something, because it is telling you always what is going on. So trust yourselves, everyone, no matter where you are in your present given spaces. But I'm going to share more about this in the most recent energetic update video. But so much love from myself and MJ, and we'll be back when it's time again. Take care.